more.
Hi, I'm Jillian, Kennywood's operations manager.
This is the voice of Kennywood.
All right, real names.
Okay. I'm Joel, and besides being the voice of Kennywood, I've been one of the park's electricians for about 3 decades. And now, let's talk a little bit about the history of Kennywood Park.
Okay.
You were riding on a piece of history. The engine pulling this train was first used in 1939 at the New York World's Fair. It was sponsored by the Gimbels department store, that's why this train has become known as the Gimbels Flyer. The coaches and theme of the ride have changed over the years, but it took its first ride here at Kennywood in 1945.
We should start at the beginning. Our story begins way back in 1818 when Charles Kenny purchased the land that would one day become Kennywood. The land became a popular picnic spot known as Kenny's Grove around the time of the Civil War, and on December 18, 1898, the Kenny family leased the land to the Monongahela Street Railway Company, officially creating our small trolley park.
You know, it was Pittsburgh businessman Andrew Mellon who picked the name Kennywood.
I did know that, and the Parkside Cafe and the Carousel Burger Company are the only 2 remaining structures from that period.
In 1906, the park was sold to 2 families. Those same families owned and operated the park into the 21st century. And you can still find their names here in Kennywood Junction if you know where to look.
In those early years, visitors enjoyed picnicking under the many trees, taking a leisurely rowboat ride on the lagoon, and watching shows at the bandstand. The favorite attractions in those days were the dance hall and the Speed O Plane roller coaster, along with our oldest operating ride, the Old Mill, which was built in 1902.
During the Roaring 20s, Kennywood added some popular rides that you can still take a ride on today. Our current whip ride opened in 1926, followed by the merry-go-round and the turtle in 1927. We also went a little coaster crazy and added 3 coasters designed by John Miller. The Jackrabbit, Racer, and Pippin all use the natural topography of our land, and each has its own uniqueness.
This is also the decade that the famous Kennywood arrows were first seen to help travelers find the park. In 1930, Harry Traver designed 2 new rides for the park, the Auto Race and the Laugh in the Dark. These would be the last new attractions for many years because of the Great Depression.
Many parks had to close. Kennywood survived due to the dedication of its guests and employees.
You worked here back then, didn't you?
I'm not that old.
Admission was free in those days, and many people spent their days playing skee-ball in the Penny Arcade, dancing in the dance hall, or enjoying zoo-related attractions like the Monkey House. There were also many appearances by popular band orchestras and other local personalities.
Eventually, the Depression subsided, and in 1936, Kennywood built a new walk-through dark ride, Noah's Ark. Ironically, this was also the year of Pittsburgh's great St. Patrick's Day flood.
Out of the Depression and into the war era, World War II was a driving force in the 1940s. Kennywood's own radio station, the Voice of Kennywood.
I recognize that name.
I'm sure you do. But this Voice of Kennywood would broadcast news from the front lines of the war from the middle of the park.
1941 provided some much-needed laughter with the debut of Laughing Sal. And the post-war baby boom saw the addition of the Little Dipper roller coaster and an expansion of Kiddieland, which was one of the largest in America. And as the nation entered into the television age in the 1950s, so did Kennywood. Our bandshell became host to many celebrities of the day: the Lone Ranger, Clarabelle the Clown from the Howdy Doody Show, and my favorite, the Three Stooges, just to name a few. That decade also saw the addition of our fall fantasy parades and the fondly remembered Kitty Cadillacs.
The 1960s and 70s were challenging times for Kennywood. With the emergence of theme parks, Kennywood had to make big changes to compete. We saw the addition of the popular gas-powered turnpike ride in 1966. Then in 1968, with the demand for a new roller coaster and no room to build one, Andy Vettel redesigned the Pippin, creating a more thrilling wooden roller coaster called the
Thunderbolts. It was ranked as the nation's best in the New York Times in 1974. In 1975, Kennywood made the decision to build its first $1 million ride, the Log Jam. This helped launch us into a new era.
Yeah,
we also decided to retire the popular characters of Henry and Howdy Doody and create our own mascots, including Kenny Kangaroo and Jeeters. But do you know the most important addition to the park in this era?
Of course, it was the potato patch with its world-class french fries.
We opened in the 80s with our first steel coaster, the Laser Loop. We added many other rides to our lineup, including the Gold Rusher, Pirate, and the Wave Swinger.
In 1985, we replaced our music plaza and the Little Dipper with the Raging Rapids, and in 1988, the park was immortalized by Rick Seebeck's WQED documentary, Kennywood Memories. We also added to our family in the 80s by getting two sister parks, Idlewild and Sandcastle.
The 1990s roared to life with the addition of the world's fastest roller coaster, the Steel Phantom. We also added our biggest expansion to date, Lost Kennywood. You know, lots of people notice that Pittsburgh is spelled without an H on the entrance podium, but that's not a mistake.
Nope. This was themed after Oakland's Luna Park from the turn of the century, and that's how Pittsburgh spelled its name at the time.
Lost Kennywood brought the addition of the indoor spinning coaster called the Exterminator and the 251-foot tall Pitfall Drop Tower.
This is also when we were first recognized as the National Historic Landmark and when we celebrated our 100th anniversary.
It was time for the turn of another century, and using techniques we learned on Thunderbolt, we adapted the Steel Phantom into the Phantom's Revenge in 2001.
We also added other new thrilling attractions like Air 360, Skyrocket, and Black Widow.
The year 2002 saw the end to our old tradition of closing on Labor Day. During Phantom Fall Fest, our family-friendly park transforms into a haunted thrill experience after dark. Starting in 2011, guests could enjoy millions of lights and even some of their favorite rides in the winter at our Holiday Lights Christmastime celebration. In 2019, Kennywood again became home to the state's tallest and fastest coaster with the debut of the Steel Curtain.
In 2022 and 2023, we celebrated our 125th birthday with park-wide enhancements that celebrated our past while looking to the future. While a lot has changed over the years, one thing never will. Kennywood is a place to escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and create new memories together.
We hope you enjoyed your ride on the Olde Kennywood Railroad. We look forward to entertaining you and your family for generations to come.